If you're over 60, there's one seemingly harmless habit that could silently increase your risk of stroke, even while you're fast asleep. No warning signs, no pain. One moment you feel perfectly fine, and the next, you might not be able to lift your arm. Your speech may become slurred, or your body could suddenly lose balance. As a neurologist, I've seen this happen to many older adults. Not because they smoke, eat poorly, or don't exercise, but because of something they believed was good for their health. Vitamins. Yes, you heard that right. Vitamins. Millions of seniors take vitamin supplements every day, hoping to strengthen their bones, boost energy, or protect memory. And while some vitamins do offer real benefits, when taken at the wrong dose, or at the wrong time, they can quietly do more harm than good, especially to the brain. Today, I want to talk to you about 5 common vitamins that may increase your risk of stroke, brain hemorrhage, or sudden spikes in blood pressure, particularly in the early morning, when the brain is at its most vulnerable. If you're taking vitamin D, E, B6, A, or niacin, these insights are worth your attention. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever wondered if the vitamins you're taking might come with side effects? Leave a 1 in the comments if you're curious and want to learn more, or a 0 if this is the first time you're hearing about it. And if you care about brain health for yourself or a loved one, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Smart Health, where we share practical, science-based information tailored specifically for older adults. Now, let's start with the first surprising truth. Vitamin D. You've probably heard that it's great for your bones, improves mood, and supports your immune system. And all of that is true. But there's one fact that many older adults don't know. Taking too much vitamin D, especially at night, can quietly increase your risk of stroke. A peaceful night's sleep might be more dangerous than you think. It may sound hard to believe, but I've personally seen this happen with many of my patients. Let me tell you the story of Mr. Walter. A textbook example. He's a 74-year-old retired Navy veterinarian, extremely disciplined, and always prioritized his health. Every morning, like clockwork, he would line up his supplements, including a 10.000 IU vitamin D capsule, easily purchased over the counter. No prescription needed. He believed he was doing the right thing for his joints and bones, but didn't realize this routine was silently putting his health at serious risk. One morning, his wife noticed something was off. His speech was slurred. He couldn't move his right hand. Classic signs of a stroke that had likely occurred during sleep. Tests revealed extremely high calcium levels in his blood, calcified arteries, and unstable blood pressure. The main culprit? An excessive dose of vitamin D. When you take high doses of vitamin D without medical guidance, your body may start absorbing too much calcium. If that excess calcium isn't processed properly, it can build up along your artery walls, making them stiff and narrow over time. That sets the stage for blood clots. And if one travels to your brain, a stroke becomes almost inevitable. As we age, our blood vessels naturally lose flexibility. Now add factors like dehydration, interrupted sleep, or a sudden spike in calcium overnight, and you've created a perfect storm for a stroke. The scary part? There's no warning. You go to bed feeling fine, and wake up in a completely different reality. What many people don't realize is that many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements in the US contain very high doses, 5.000 IU, even 10.000 IU per pill. That's far more than what most older adults actually need. There's a common belief that more is better, but studies have shown that even 2.000 IU per day may be too much if you're not truly deficient. So, what's my advice? If you're taking vitamin D, especially combined with calcium or heart medications, get your blood levels checked regularly. And more importantly, take it in the morning, never before bed. Do you know how much vitamin D is in the supplement you're currently taking? If you're using vitamin D, drop a D in the comments so we can start a conversation and share our experiences. And if this information made you stop and think, don't forget to like this video, so others can also learn about these important insights. If the story about vitamin D surprised you, then you'll be even more shocked by the next name on the list. Vitamin E. Many people believe that vitamin E is good for the heart. And that's not wrong. But in older adults, this vitamin may increase a risk even more serious than blood clots. Brain hemorrhage. Vitamin E has long been seen as a heart-friendly supplement. And if you've been taking it for years, you're not alone. Millions of people over 60 take vitamin E, hoping to improve blood circulation, support memory, or simply keep their skin looking young. But here's what many don't realize. When taken in high doses, especially while on heart medications, vitamin E can significantly raise the risk of bleeding in the brain. And it can happen, even if you think you're doing everything right. Let me tell you a true story about Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, an 81-year-old retired librarian living in Ohio. She was cheerful, loved books, and always carried a novel in her purse. She had been managing a heart valve condition and was prescribed warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors monitored her health closely. Routine blood tests, stable blood pressure. One day, she came across an ad in a magazine for a natural vitamin E supplement, 800 IU per capsule, and believed it would help with her memory and circulation. After just 3 weeks of taking vitamin E daily, she was rushed to the emergency room with severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. An MRI scan revealed a brain hemorrhage, bleeding inside the brain. It wasn't caused by high blood pressure. It wasn't from a fall or an injury. The real reason was the combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E, which made her blood so thin it could no longer clot. Just one tiny ruptured blood vessel in the brain was enough to cause devastating consequences. This is something most people have no idea about, and it's exactly why we must understand what we're putting into our bodies each day. In high doses, vitamin E actually acts like a natural blood thinner. It makes it harder for your blood to clot. So if you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any type of blood thinning medication, and then add daily vitamin E on top of that, your risk of internal bleeding slowly and silently goes up, especially in the brain. And all it takes is a tiny bleed to leave you struggling to speak, with memory loss, or even difficulty walking. Did you know that the recommended daily amount of vitamin E for older adults is just 15 milligrams? That's about 22 IU? But in reality, most vitamin E capsules sold over the counter contain 200, 400, even 1.000 IU. And there's rarely a clear warning on the label. Many people have taken those high doses every single day for years, not realizing they were putting their health at serious risk. Back to Mrs. Evelyn's story. Fortunately, she survived the brain bleed. But now, she needs a cane to walk. And her short-term memory will never be the same. I still remember her eyes as she said through tears, "I thought I was doing something good for my health. I had no idea I was hurting myself." That moment broke my heart, because she is not an isolated case. Many older adults still believe vitamins are harmless. What could go wrong? But the truth is, not all vitamins are safe, especially when you're taking heart medications, blood pressure drugs, or blood thinners. My sincere advice is this: before adding any vitamin supplement, always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider. Don't just guess. And definitely don't rely on advertisements without understanding the real effects behind them. And if you think the risk of brain bleeding is scary enough, get ready, because there's another vitamin, commonly taken to boost energy and support the nervous system, that can quietly damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Let's talk about vitamin B6, often marketed as a miracle nutrient for your brain and nerves. You'll find bottles of B6 supplements at nearly any pharmacy, promising better energy, sharper focus, or improved memory. Maybe someone even told you that B6 helps protect your nerves as you age. But here's a fact very few older adults are warned about. Taking too much vitamin B6 can damage your nerves. And sometimes, the damage is irreversible. Let me share the story of Mr. Harold Jenkins, a 76-year-old retired truck driver, living in Kansas. He came to see me, complaining of numbness in his legs, a tingling sensation in his hands, and frequent loss of balance. At first, he thought it was just a normal part of aging. But things quickly got worse. He started falling. Once, then twice, and the third time, he hit his head in the bathroom. That's when he decided it was time to get checked. When I reviewed the vitamins and supplements he was taking, the cause became clear. Mr. Jenkins had been taking a product labeled Nerve Support Formula for over a year. The label claimed it supported memory, circulation, and brain function, but each capsule contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6, and he was taking 2 a day, 200 milligrams total, more than 10 times the safe upper limit for older adults. What's especially concerning is that unlike some vitamins that are flushed out easily, vitamin B6 tends to build up in the body over time. In older adults, this accumulation can strip away the protective coating around the nerves, like peeling the insulation off a wire. The result? Symptoms like numbness, tingling, shaky hands, muscle weakness, and even memory loss or confusion. What's more dangerous is that these symptoms come on slowly, so many people mistake them for arthritis, aging, or early signs of dementia. But in truth, this could be a condition called B6 toxicity, a completely preventable form of nerve damage, caused by a supplement people believe is good for their health. And if not caught early, the damage can last a lifetime. Thankfully, we were able to stop Mr. Jenkins from taking vitamin B6 before things got worse, but even so, he now walks with a cane and can no longer drive like he used to. He told me, with a heavy heart, "I just wanted to keep my mind sharp. I had no idea I was hurting myself." Here's the key thing to remember. Vitamin B6 is essential, but your body only needs a very small amount each day. For older adults, the recommended daily intake is just 2 to 10 milligrams, and that already includes the B6 you get from food. But many brain-boosting supplements, sold online or in stores, contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per pill. Doses like these are not just unnecessary, they carry serious risks. So if you're taking any supplement that says it's good for your nerves, memory, or energy, take a few minutes to check the label carefully. Look for the vitamin B6 content. And if you, or someone you care about, is taking a supplement that contains it, leave a comment with the word B6 so we can have an open conversation together. At this point, you might be thinking, surely some vitamins, like vitamin A, must be safe, right? That one's just good for the eyes, isn't it? Not exactly. Let's talk about vitamin A. If you're like many older adults, you've probably heard that vitamin A is essential for keeping your vision sharp and healthy. You may have taken it to boost your immune system, improve your skin, or simply because someone once told you it helps you age gracefully. But there's something most people aren't told, especially after the age of 60. Excess vitamin A isn't just extra, it builds up. And over time, that buildup can increase pressure in the brain, causing stroke-like symptoms, impairing your vision, and even damaging your brain. I want to tell you the story of Ms. Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She loved music, still taught students from her home, and took great pride in staying independent as she aged. Then one day, she began experiencing headaches. Soon after came blurred vision, dizziness, and slurred speech. Her family panicked, thinking she was having a stroke. But when doctors scanned her brain, the results were shocking. There was no blood clot, no bleeding. Instead, they found elevated intracranial pressure, meaning the pressure inside her brain had become dangerously high, blocking spinal fluid flow and compressing tiny blood vessels. The cause? Vitamin A toxicity. Ms. Dot had been taking high doses of vitamin A, nearly 10.000 IU per day, for over 5 years, hoping it would help her eyes and skin. She had no idea she was overdosing. Unlike water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C or the B complex, vitamin A is fat-soluble. which means your body doesn't flush it out easily. Instead, it's stored in your liver, tissues, and even your brain. As we age, liver function naturally declines, allowing vitamin A to accumulate faster. When the levels get too high, it can trigger a condition known as pseudotumor cerebri, a false brain tumor that causes severe headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and in serious cases, permanent vision loss or memory problems. What's especially concerning is that many people don't realize one daily multivitamin already provides all the vitamin A you need. Yet people, like Ms. Dot, unknowingly double or triple their intake through beauty products, vision formulas, or anti-aging supplements. The safe upper limit for older adults is around 2.500 to 3.000 IU per day. And even that should be monitored by a doctor. But online and over the counter, many products contain 5.000, 10.000 IU, or even more, marketed for daily use, often taken for months, or even years. And once it builds up enough, the consequences begin to show. Right now, Ms. Dot is slowly recovering, but she needs regular eye exams, frequent checks for brain pressure, and balance therapy just to maintain stability in her daily life. She once told me, in a very honest, emotional moment, her voice full of regret, "I thought I was doing something good for my body. I had no idea I was harming my brain." That's why I'm sharing her story with you today. Not to scare you, but to help you understand the truth behind vitamins that seem completely harmless. Because knowledge is the most powerful tool we have to protect our health and preserve our independence as we age. And if the story about vitamin A made you reconsider things, then you should know about another vitamin, one often believed to be heart-friendly, but that can dangerously spike your blood pressure. That vitamin is niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Niacin is often promoted as a natural way to lower cholesterol. In fact, some doctors have even prescribed it to patients in the past. You might find it in heart health supplements, energy drinks, or fortified breakfast cereals. But here's something very few people talk about, especially when it comes to older adults. High doses of niacin can cause severe fluctuations in blood pressure, and if left unnoticed, the risk of stroke can strike at any moment. Let me tell you about Mr. Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired postal worker living in Florida. He came in complaining of strange symptoms: flushed face, pounding heartbeat, and intense dizziness every morning. His wife thought it was just stress. His son assumed it was a side effect from blood pressure medication. But when I took a closer look at his supplement list, the culprit turned out to be something no one expected. Mr. Frank had been taking a heart health supplement he bought over the counter at a local pharmacy. The label read, "Supports healthy cholesterol and circulation." Each serving contained 1.000 milligrams of niacin, and he was taking it twice a day, 2.000 milligrams daily, more than 60 times the amount typically recommended for older adults. Here's what happens when you take niacin in high doses. It causes your blood vessels to suddenly dilate, making your face turn red or feel hot. But shortly after, those vessels constrict again, rapidly. This sudden back and forth can cause blood pressure to spike, placing immense strain on your heart, while also reducing blood flow to the brain. If this happens over and over, this stretch and snap effect is like tapping a thin glass with a hammer. Sooner or later, a crack appears, and then it shatters. Mr. Frank experienced a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, a kind of mini stroke. For a few minutes, he couldn't speak clearly. His words came out jumbled, and then everything returned to normal. He thought it was no big deal. But I had to be honest with him. The very supplement he believed was good for the heart was silently harming his brain. And sadly, Mr. Frank isn't alone. Many older adults are unknowingly taking high doses of niacin, especially in products labeled extended release or slow release. They assume these are safer. But the truth is, even those formulas can cause high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, like atrial fibrillation, or even changes in blood sugar levels, all of which are especially dangerous for seniors. So if you or someone you love is taking any supplement labeled Heart Health that contains niacin, please check the dosage carefully. And don't hesitate to speak to your doctor. Because what seems healthy may actually be a hidden risk you don't even know you're taking. Here's the key point. Any niacin dose above 50 milligrams per day should only be used under medical supervision. If you have high blood pressure, arrhythmia, or are on any prescribed medications, then reading the label carefully is absolutely essential. Once Mr. Frank understood the issue, he stopped taking niacin and is now gradually recovering. Fortunately, there was no permanent damage, but what he told me that day still stays with me. Doctor, I thought I was doing the right thing. I had no idea I was putting my brain at risk. Now that you've joined me in going over 5 common vitamins, each with the potential to silently impact your brain, if taken the wrong way, you might be asking yourself, so, what should I take instead? Or better yet, what should I eat to protect my brain? That's a great question, and it's exactly the right direction to head in. Instead of relying on supplements, let's return to real food, the kind your body was designed to digest, absorb, and use naturally. There is no pill smarter than food. Our bodies and brains were never built to run on bottles of vitamins, but to receive nourishment from whole, fresh, natural foods. It's these foods that offer the most sustainable and safest support for your memory, thinking, and mental clarity. Let me tell you the story of Mrs. Margaret Wilson, a 73-year-old retired school principal from Arizona. On the first day I met her, she opened a drawer, and inside was a mini pharmacy of supplements. Vitamin D for bone strength, vitamin E for the heart, AB complex for energy, niacin to manage cholesterol, a multivitamin, and a few more pills claiming to support brain health. She smiled confidently and told me, "Doctor, I think I'm doing everything right." But the reality was different. She was dealing with frequent morning dizziness, loss of balance, and her blood pressure swung unpredictably. Clearly, something wasn't right. So, we decided to do something bold. We cleaned out the entire supplement cabinet, one step at a time. We removed the pills and replaced them with real food. No extreme diet, no complicated program, just simple, whole, healthy foods, eaten at the right times. Today, her breakfast is simple, yet packed with nourishment. 1 boiled egg, a clean source of protein. Half an avocado, full of heart and brain-friendly fats. A slice of whole grain bread, providing steady energy throughout the morning. A small handful of blueberries, rich in antioxidants that protect brain cells. And a glass of room temperature water, to keep the body hydrated and alert. Sometimes, she'll even sprinkle in a few walnuts or almonds. Great friends of memory and mental sharpness. That's it, no pills, no magic powders, just real food, gentle, digestible, and nourishing the brain, the way nature intended. After just a few weeks, Mrs. Maggie began to notice a real difference. The dizziness faded, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy returned, and she told me, with a bright smile, "My mind hasn't felt this clear in years." The reason is simple. The brain doesn't need fancy supplements. What it really needs is water, healthy fats, and natural micronutrients from food. Not ultra-high doses from a bottle, but daily balance and consistency. Here are some of the best foods older adults should consider adding to their diet. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, full of omega-3s to protect brain cells. Berries, packed with polyphenols that reduce inflammation and boost memory. Nuts and seeds, excellent sources of vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats that naturally support brain health. Whole grains help stabilize blood sugar and improve circulation, which can enhance memory and focus. These simple foods not only protect the brain, but also benefit your joints, heart, mood, and mobility. And you know what? Every time you eat, it's not just about filling your stomach. You're healing and rebuilding your body, one meal at a time. Finally, the most important part isn't what you eat or drink, but your awareness. That's the most powerful medicine of all. At age 60, 70, or even 80. Every decision you make in a day holds more meaning than ever before. It's not the supplement you take that protects you. It's the understanding behind it. Your body doesn't process vitamins and minerals the same way it did at 30 or 40. Seemingly harmless habits, like taking daily vitamins, can become a double-edged sword if you're not fully aware of what your body is telling you. So consider awareness your strongest foundation for lifelong health. You don't have to fear vitamins, but you should respect them. Read labels carefully. Talk to your doctor, especially if you're taking multiple supplements. And above all, listen to your body, especially when it starts whispering subtle warnings. If what I've shared today has made you stop and think, leave a comment below. What's one thing you'll change starting tomorrow? If you found this content helpful, please hit the like button so others can discover it too. And don't forget to subscribe to Smart Health so we can keep learning, growing, and living healthy together every single day. You are not alone on this journey, and it's never too late to reclaim control of your health.